guys! Today we're going to talk about jealousy. First, let me begin by saying a small amount of jealousy is 110% normal. It just means that the person you're with is scared of losing you, and that's it. Like a tiny amount of jealousy every now and then. That's how it should be. That's completely natural. But there is also a huge difference between worry, jealousy, and possessiveness. Because worried about you is, oh, you're going out, like, let me know when you get home, and that's it. Jealousy is, you're going out. Okay, great. With who? Oh, okay. I trust you. Have fun. And possessiveness is when they react to you going out with who? No, you can do that because I told you to. And possessiveness is them literally trying to control you. Like, you want to go out with your friends, they say no. You want to go out to dinner, they say no. Often without a cause and without a reason. It's not the same as jealousy, and it's not the same as worry. Know the difference. Like I said, a small amount of jealousy is completely normal, but if it starts to become very often or in bigger amounts, then you need to have a conversation about it, because if they're jealous very often or very jealous, that means they either don't trust you or they don't trust the person that you're going to spend time with. And depending on the situation, that mistrust could be completely okay. Like if you're going to see your ex, then they have the right to be a little worried. Unless you've been friends for a while already, then they should just trust you. But there is a time and a place and a certain situation that calls for jealousy. If they're jealous all the time or very often, it's not a healthy relationship and you probably need to get out. So when is it okay to be jealous? This is a question that I've faced a lot, both in my own relationships and when I've tried to help my friends. And the honest answer is there is really no clear answer to this, because it is so dependent on the relationship, the people involved in the relationships, how serious they are, the people who cause the jealousy. There are so many factors that you can't have a correct answer that fits every situation, but there are correct guidelines that can be applied to every situation. If either party is uncomfortable, then there is too much jealousy. If you argue about the jealousy, then there is too much jealousy. Like, these are really, really simple, basic things that you should already know. And to prevent excess jealousy in almost every situation, the best thing you can do is to have a very adult conversation with your partner about jealousy. Like, where do you draw the line? Where do you get jealous? Like, can another woman hug your boyfriend and there's no problem? Or can another man hug your girlfriend and there is no problem? Like, what do you define as things that make you uncomfortable? Because you need to know this. Otherwise, figuring out your relationship will be very, very uncomfortable, and it's going to be a really, really bumpy ride, and we are trying to avoid that as much as possible. As I said in the last video, arguments do happen, but we don't have to cause them. So yes, discuss with your partner, and if there is someone still in your life from your past that they might be sensitive about, if you have an ex-girlfriend you're still friends with, ex-boyfriends, people you've dated for short whiles, like anything that might make them the least bit uncomfortable, they need to know about it beforehand. Because if you've been dating for a couple of weeks and then you suddenly say, oh, I'm going to see my ex-boyfriend, they might get a very different idea from if you had mentioned it before. So make sure that they are aware of your friendships that might be sensitive topics. When it comes down to it, being in a relationship is all about communication, and when it comes to jealousy, it's not an exception. You have to communicate, and if you do, then you can avoid most of the conflicts and most of the situations that will make one of you uncomfortable. And figuring out your role in the relationship, their role in the relationship, and the relationship altogether is so much easier if you just have a mature conversation about jealousy. What makes you jealous? What makes them jealous? It's really not that hard. Just ask these questions beforehand, and you will be able to avoid a lot of conflicts and heartache because of it. And remember, small amounts of jealousy every now and then is perfectly fine, it's perfectly normal. So remember, small amounts of jealousy is completely normal, it's completely fine every now and then. But if they start to get jealous about little things, like you going out with your friends, then it's bordering on possessiveness, and that should really be a huge warning sign for you that the relationship might not be a healthy one. So those were all the things I had for you today on the topic of jealousy. If you liked this video, you could always check out the first two parts in this little mini series on my channel, which are here and here. And they're about first date advice and arguments, and they are really important for healthy relationships. Other than that, I will see you Monday. Bye.